Hi everybody, this is Lynn from TrentinoGenealogy.com, and today I wanted to give you a short tutorial on how to download spreadsheets and to create databases from the Nati and Trentino website. This is a follow-up to a previous video that I made, a previous tutorial I made on how to use the Nati and Trentino website, the basics of it, so that you could, because currently it isn't translated into English, and a lot of you were saying, I don't understand what's going on the site. I just want to say that the date I'm making this video is the 14th of August 2020, so anything that I'm showing you now is current as of today, and it may have changed since then. So first of all, you're going to need two things for this tutorial. One is access to the Nati and Trentino website, which is the website that we're going to be looking at. And also you're going to need Microsoft Excel, because that's what you're going to need to make the database and download the spreadsheets. So first of all, the link to the site is going to be on your screen. I'll say it here. It's natitrentino.mondotrentino.net. If that's a lot to remember, I'll have it at the top of the video so that you'll be able to just copy it from there. So just to remind you, those who may not be familiar with the site, Nati and Trentino has a database of births that took place in Trentino between the years of 1815 and 1923. So it's all of the births that were registered in parishes. It isn't necessarily everybody who was born there, because some people were born outside the parish or born in things like maternity homes, but anything that was registered in the parish records is in this database. Now, it is sponsored by the province of Trento. However, it was created by the archivists at the Diocese of Trento. So it's actually very thorough. Occasionally you'll find mistakes, but you can always report it to them. But it is quite a thorough database. The other thing I want to point out is that those of you who may have used it in the past, the later births, like after 1920, 1919, 1920, in that era, they didn't used to have the names of the parents because of data protection. That seems to be changed now. You seem to be able to see all of the surnames, all of the names of the parents, all the way through to 1923. So that's pretty cool. Once you're on that site, of course, scroll down and it's going to ask you to accetto the cookies, accept the cookies. That's what this is. So if you just do that, you'll get into the site. And the thing we're interested in is this here, cerca tra I registri delle nascite, which means search through the registers of births. That's what it means. So nascita is a birth, nascite is births. So let's say what I'm going to demonstrate today is, let's say, for instance, you want to download a whole batch of people with the same surnames. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for as an example to show you a small download, I'm going to search for my grandfather's siblings. So I've already typed in the surname Serafini. Yes, our surname was changed from Serafini to Serafin when before I was born, actually, after they immigrated. And I know that my grandfather's siblings were all born between 1880 and I'm trying to think when the youngest one was. Well, let's just say 1900. So in order not to have too many results, because I know my great-grandmother's surname, I'm going to put in her surname here. Now, cognome means surname, della madre. Cognome della madre means surname of the mother. So I'm putting in the mother's surname. And what I didn't say was cognome means surname over here, okay? Nome is name, cognome is surname. So if I hit search, let's see what it comes up with. Well, it has my grandfather's siblings, but it has other people as well, people who are in different families. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit nome della madre, and you can see these top ones here are the family I'm interested in, because my great-grandmother's name was Europa or Domenica Europa, and this is that family there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, rather than try to fuss with it here, I'm going to export the whole batch, and I'll get rid of the ones I don't want later if indeed I don't want them. So how do I do that? Well, here it says Esporta in CSV. CSV, for those of you who are familiar, you know that that's kind of like a stripped down spreadsheet form. It stands for, well, in English, it's comma separated values. And so, but it's actually, I have to point out, it's not, it's actually semicolons. So I'll show you that in a bit. So if I go esporta, and you'll see down at the bottom of my screen, the spreadsheet has exported down there on the left-hand corner. And depending on what browser you use, it may download somewhere else. So now I've opened up the file that I downloaded off the website in Excel, and it looks like a big mess. You say, what in the world is that? Everything is all jumbled. What am I supposed to do with any of that? Well, this is because the way it downloads, because this is as I said, a stripped down version of a spreadsheet. The way it downloads is all the information is in one big long series of words separated by semicolons in this case. So sometimes it's going to be separated by commas. In this case, on this website, they're separated by semicolons. So how do we fix it? Well, here's what you do. Take your cursor and or your mouse, I should say, and select column A. And you do that just by clicking an A at the top, and you'll see this whole column highlighted. Now make sure you don't select the whole table because it won't work. So just select column A, and then go up to your menu where it says Data. And again, if you have a different version of Microsoft Excel, it might look slightly different from this, but you should find this somewhere if you know your program. Go up to Data, and you're going to want to select the command that says Text to Columns. So what that's going to do is that right now the program thinks that all this information is in one column, and this is in another column, and this is in another. Even though it looks like it's in different columns, it's actually not. It's all in one column. So if you go Text to Columns and you click on that, it's going to ask you a number of questions. Just leave it on delimited because it says characters such as commas or tabs separate each field. Well, that's true. In this case, it's characters such as semicolons. So let's say leave that selected and go Next. And then instead of tab, say semicolons. All right. So click on semicolons and then go Next. Now, what you could do here is tell it to understand the dates. However, Microsoft has a very annoying feature that the dates, it doesn't understand dates before 1900. So what I do is I tend to go to the dates and go text so that it doesn't mess them up and start to try to put them in weird numbers, which is what it might do for the 1900s. But anyway, then I click Finish and have a look what happened. Presto. Look at this. Everything's nice in columns. So if I spread out the columns now so I can see it, you can make things out. And if I kind of format it a little more, you can make things out even more clearly. So here we go. I'm just spreading it out for you so you can see it. So let me explain what each thing is in turn. And it's just as you would see it on the website, except now you've got it in your computer. Now, if I scroll down here, here's the family I don't need with Rosa and Stella there. So I'm going to take those rows and I'm just going to delete them. So they're gone. So here's my grandfather's family right there, all in a row. What I'm going to do to make it a little easier is I'm going to color in the top so I can make it easier to see everything. And you can change then now the headings. If you want to read it in English, you can say surname, name, gender or sex, name of father, name of mother, or surname of mother, name of mother, date of birth, blah, 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 blah. Now, I already have these organized in the order of date of birth. No, I don't, actually, because they just kind of came in their own way from the website. They came actually organized according to the name of the father on the website. And you can see that in my great-grandfather's name here is Costante, and down here is Costante Fedele. Actually, he usually went by Fedele. So it has them organized in kind of what seems to be a random form. So what I do is this. I go into next to the date of birth, and I'll go insert, and that will insert a column. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in year. Now watch this magic. This is quite handy because Microsoft is quite clever. If I start typing in the year here, 1887, and then start typing in the next one, it's going to fill in the whole thing. Now that's not a big deal if I only have what do I have here? 7 names. But if you've got a big long list, it can do the whole list in one batch. So have a look. If I start typing 1887, and then I go to the next one and type 1890, look at how it starts to understand what I want to do. Now if I just hit enter, it will automatically enter them. So now I have the years, and that's quite handy. And now I want to sort them. It's easy enough if I want to sort them and there's only a few people, but if I want to sort them, let's say I have like 50 people or 100 people or a heck of a lot of people, it's going to be a lot easier to sort them if I do it automatically. If I select the whole spreadsheet by clicking on the upper left-hand corner and then go sort and filter, and then and again, this might look different depending on which version of Excel you have, and go custom sort. I'm going to say keep the box checked that says my data has headers, and then say sort by year. All right, now it might give me a warning because it may not understand what those numbers are yet, and I'm just going to say sort anything that looks like a number as a number, and then say okay, and lo and behold, look at all the family. They're now nicely sorted in chronological order, and that makes it a lot easier to keep track of the database. And regardless of how the mother's name is entered or the father's name is entered, it's all nice and neat. So now I can change the name of the tab, and I can save this. If you do save it, make sure that you save it as an Excel spreadsheet, not as a CSV file. So you have to change it and say save as. Now I want to show you something that I did earlier, which is quite, I think, kind of a bit more impressive than just this. This is a spreadsheet I've made of, or that I'm working on, of all the Serafini in my father's parish. And as I've already shown you, here I'm going to put this here so you can see it more easily, I created a column for the year, and I did exactly what I showed you. What I did here is I instead of separating them all in chronological order, what I've done is I've put them into family groups. And so I sorted them like this. I'll give you an example of how I sorted. So if I select the whole thing and I go custom sort, I put the first choice as, say, let's say name of the father, and then I added a level and then said surname of the mother. Of course, you can change these to English. I still have them in Italian. And then name of the mother. Where is it? Nome della madre. And then year. So when I did that, it organized it all this way, and it put them all into nice little groups. Occasionally, what will happen is if the surname of the mother or the first name of the father or anything is slightly different, it may not have them showing up exactly the way you want them. And in that case, you can, like over here, for instance, Margarita is, she's spelled 2 different ways in the database. So you may have to manually move things around. But anyway, I worked on this for some time to collect all of the Serafini in my father's parish. And then gradually I'm cross-checking them to make sure I have every child listed in the tree. I put a column in saying in the tree or not. I have a column for notes. I haven't worked on this for a while because I'm working on other client projects, but I do this for a lot of things. And then I put different colors for each family group, and then this way you can keep a database. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, it means that you have it on hand. It's on your computer. You don't have to keep searching for things online, and you can refer to them at any time. 2 more things I want to show you before I end this tutorial. One is that if you want to do a search for lots and lots of names, so let's say I want to do all of the Serafini for every single one from 1815 to 1923. So I'm going to hit search for that, and it's going to show me thousands. You can see here's over 1,000 results. Now notice here, when it gives you the option to export, it'll say it looks a little different from what I just showed you. And it says esporta I primi 30 risultati. That means the first 30 results. So when you export, it will only allow you to export up to 30 names at a time. So be aware of that. You're not going to be able to export this whole list in one batch. What you'll have to do is narrow it down until you have only 30. You may have to lower the years or define the parish or whatever you need to do, and then export it in batches. The other thing that I noticed is that while, although it doesn't show it here on the screen, I have found cases where the results will show me the variants of the surname. So like, let's say in the list, it might show Serafini with 1 F and Serafini with 2 Fs. However, when I go to export, it will only export what I've actually put in the search. And if I wanted to export the other variant, I actually have to select that in the search. So be aware of those kinds of quirky things. Otherwise, it's quite straightforward and very useful. So once again, this is Lynn Serafin, genealogist at Trentino Genealogy. I hope you found this tutorial on Nati and Trentino to be useful and that it helps you in your genealogical research. Please do drop by the website at trentinogenealogy.com, and also please do come and join us at our Facebook group of the same name, where you might just meet some long-lost cousins. Please do let me know what you thought of this video, and I hope to see you soon.